Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to our webinar, Video Trends in Social Media, or Social Media Video Made Easy, or using video and social media to drive sales, all combined into what we hope will be a wonderful and exciting presentation for you today. Next slide. My name is George Joyner. I am co-chair of the Putnam chapter of SCORE. And this presentation is going to be brought to you by a group of SCORE chapters in the greater metropolitan New York area. As a group, SCORE's goal is to foster vibrant small businesses throughout the country. And we do it by using three tools. One is, and the most prevalent, is our free and confidential, essentially one-on-one small business mentoring. And I say one-on-one, could be two-on-one or more, but it's personal mentoring. We also offer webinars like the one you're going to be seeing today and workshops. And finally, we have a vast library of webinars, presentations, workshop media, and just pure text that are a fabulous business library, free for anybody that wants to use it at www.score.org. We work with small businesses, but small is very difficult to define, but we work with businesses from startups to fairly good-sized established businesses. And we staff our services with mentors who have a tremendous amount of experience in a wide range of industries and a wide range of functions. And it's a fabulous resource, and we encourage you to work with us if it's appropriate. Maggie? Just very briefly, these are the chapters that are bringing you this presentation. But instead of giving you this information and waiting for you to write it down or anything, want to let you know here that this webinar is being recorded, and all those who have enrolled in the webinar will be getting a recording of the webinar itself, as well as a copy of the slides. They will be coming to you, so if you miss something, it will be in the mail to you probably in 2 or 3 days from this webinar. Right? Ground rules. Everybody is going to be muted during the presentation, which should be nothing unusual for anybody that attends webinars. We ask you, though, as you go, if you have questions, please, instead of using the chat function, please use the Q&A function that we monitor. We'll try and get back to you with as many answers as we can during the presentation or during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So again, we will get your questions, we will get to them, and if we run out of time, we'll try and answer your questions by email or other methods, or you can call Maggie directly to get information from her. Maggie? Our presenter today, well, before that, just an overview. We're going to be talking about the growth in popularity and functionality of using video, embedding video into your social media advertising and marketing. And Maggie will be going through just a whole bunch of what I find are totally useful and valuable tips that you can actually take away from her presentation and use successfully. And speaking of Maggie, Maggie Carey is the founder, she's the CEO of Master IT Media. She's been a social media strategist for a long while, with over 35 years in IT. I was going to say 400 years. And Maggie is also the creator of Painless Posting, which is a content subscription service that provides businesses with the ability to create custom branded media posts just really almost instantaneously, a couple of minutes and you're done. And in her spare time, Maggie also hosts Master IT Monday. It's a YouTube series that provides weekly tips to inform businesses on how to get the most out of social media. And I will tell you, she is a great presenter and a delight to listen to. Maggie, thank you for joining us, and the clicker is yours.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, George. And thank you to SCORE for the opportunity to meet you all today and to present. SCORE is amazing. They have helped me in my business, so I know they can help you in yours. So today's topic, as George mentioned, is video trends in social media. We're going to cover a number of different things to help you with your social media presence as it pertains to video. Now, these things are, there'll be tools, there'll be some tips and advice to help you really get comfortable with using video in your social media. Now, just to kind of stress this point, video is an integral part of every main social media platform. We need to embrace it. It is difficult for some people with video. You don't always have to be the face in your video. You could be recording staff members. You could be recording people using your products. You could be recording the product or the service, or you could do text and graphic combinations to create your video. And I'm going to be sharing with you some tools to help you do that today, along with tips and advice on using video. So just to drive home this point with some numbers, 93% of companies have acquired new customers via social media video. But here's a stat that goes along with it that's a little bit eye-opening. Video is underutilized by many businesses. Only 14% of businesses on Facebook currently use video to promote their business. And I'm not talking about paid advertising. I'm talking about the organic posts that people do on social media as well as paid advertising. Only 14%, yet 93% of businesses get new customers because of social video. So 11% on Instagram, 5% on Twitter. Those are really low numbers. Well, what does that mean for you? That means if you start using video in your social media, you're going to drive more attention away from your competitors and towards you so that you can find your ideal customer. So let me just give a little bit of terminology. So you'll hear these two terms, a short form video and a long form video. So a short form video is usually up to 2 minutes. It's, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, right? It's considered short form, but there's no universal number. There's debate about it. Usually, like take Instagram, for example, under 60 seconds, right? So, and they mean under 60. If you have a 60-second video, sometimes it doesn't post. So be aware, maybe just record a 59-second video. Your message has to be quick and short form. And thinking about it, you really only have 3 seconds to get their attention. So that first 3 seconds shouldn't be high. It should be what you want to say right away. Don't waste time. Get right on it. Now, long form video is ones that have, it's a story, right? Like even your short form can be story with a beginning, middle, end, but it lasts longer than 10 minutes. So short form is more like Instagram Reels. We'll be covering some of this terminology, or just doing a TikTok video, something that's short and easy. The long form really has a beginning, middle, end. You should be having a hook, something to draw people in. You should always end with a call to action. And those are over 10 minutes. That's where you're looking at using YouTube, having a YouTube channel to promote you in a long form. So you're going to be driving more like maybe tips and advice or education in a long form, where short form is really get them in quick and give them a little bit of a teaser as to what you can do. When we look at platforms, and I mentioned a few of them, here are some to try. There's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. Depending on what you use, you can, you're going to have different, like a longer video, a shorter video, a horizontal video versus a portrait video, right? There are different platforms, but when we're looking at the platforms, you really need to choose wisely with this. because you don't want to put, a TikTok video is very different from something you're going to put on YouTube. But you can think about multi-purposing. So when you create a very long form video, like a YouTube video, think about when you're creating that video, that little snippets of that video can be pulled out and used on Instagram or used on TikTok. So you're not duplicating your effort. Here is one of my favorite sheets that my team and I put together. We pulled this out from from different sources. This, when you look at this, we're talking about Facebook, followed by Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Now you have demographics, a purpose, what they're best for, and of note. One of the things that really LinkedIn is great. If you're a business to business, and we don't say that here, but that's one of the key things with LinkedIn. They're really targeting the C levels, the CEOs, COOs, CMOs of their businesses, right? So if you're a B2B, LinkedIn is a great platform to choose. When you're looking at TikTok, right? This is news, articles, up-to-date things. Now, TikTok is, Twitter, not TikTok. Twitter is coming into play with, they were saying Twitter is starting to die, but then Elon Musk came in and said, I want to buy it. And that, so we'll see. You have to keep up with technology. You can always follow me on social media. I will let you know as things come up, what changes. But here, you're looking at Facebook and Instagram. They're huge and they're covering different age demographics, but these numbers tend to skew. Remember, these age numbers may be a little bit different because a lot of people who are over 40 don't always want to put their age on a platform. So keep those things in mind. The more things that you should be looking at are the purpose and what they're best for, because those are where you need to stress. So if you're doing entertainment, you got to look at TikTok. If you're looking at building relationships, then you should be looking at Facebook. You don't have to do all of them, but I do suggest that you at least secure your brand, secure your name on each major platform. Next, I'm going to go into a couple of steps, right? So the first thing you need to do before you even sit down and start recording a video is to lay out your goal. What do you want to achieve with this video? So when I sat down and I started looking at a YouTube channel, I didn't really have a goal in mind, right? I was just like, somebody said you need to be on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on YouTube. So I created a channel. I started recording videos. If you ever look at any of my older videos, they're not that great, right? We all have to start somewhere. And once you start doing, you'll get better. So at first, I didn't really have a goal. Then I started learning about how to use video and making sure that I was targeting the people I wanted to reach, that I wanted to build relationships with, and hopefully they would become clients of mine. So when you look at your own video, what are you trying to do? If you're a new company, are you looking to raise that brand awareness just to get people to know who you are, right? Then are you looking to drive traffic to your website? Are you looking for new leads or maybe a sign up for something you're doing, right? Are you looking at building a community? Maybe you're looking at, we have somebody who is an LGBT organization that's looking at raising awareness and building community for women who come out later in life, right? So she's building this strong community of people through her video. She's not necessarily selling anything. She's more like gathering people together at this point. Eventually, that purpose is going to come into driving traffic to her website, right? And also, are you looking at effective customer service? Maybe this video is teaching people, say you're a plumber and you're teaching people how to change something on the sink, maybe changing a faucet, something that they can do on their own. those are things where you're looking at those frequently asked questions that people always call you on the phone and ask questions about. Those are great ideas for a video. And when we look at that, that comes into our topics, right? So now that you know what your goal of your video is, let's brainstorm, right? Let's start writing out a game plan. What am I going to share? Am I going to share how-tos, industry trends? Like I just was sharing about how Twitter is being in the process of being bought out. Is that going to happen? What does that mean for us who are using that platform? If I've never used the platform, is good. Like, do you see how this all can be very informative for the person who's watching your videos? News, of course, is always great. What's not just news, current events, but news in what's going on in your business, what's going on in your community, what's going on in the industry that you're in. All of those things can play into news. Interviews, great way to cross promote to businesses. So I do social media. I pull in somebody who talks about, let's say, another aspect of websites. Okay, how does websites and social media play together, right? We both are hitting the same target audience. So I'm leveraging the website builders community. He's leveraging my social media community because both of those communities need both of our services. So we're cross promoting our business. Think of your business and think of what other industries, what other business owners might you be able to interview that would have your audience, because they're going to share with their audience, hey, I'm in Maggie's Master It Monday. Come and follow me, right? Same with your series. And of course, doing a series like my Master It Monday, as I mentioned, I go live every Monday at 2:00. Everybody knows I go at 2:00 on Monday. So they look for that. It's consistency, right? So figure out how you're going to do it. Even if it's only once a month, develop a series so that your followers know what to expect. Those are all ideas. You can't do everything, right? So start with one and go from there. Now, content is our next, creating that script, right? And this is where you can multi-purpose content, right? Because when you're creating your script, you want to start with an outline. We're going back to high school essays here, right? You want to have an outline. You want to lay out what you're looking at accomplishing. Always think about those, go back to your goal, go back to what you want to do, what your topics are, and then develop the content outline. You always want to have a hook, something that's going to draw them in. So for example, we're saying video trends in social media, that's a hook. Are you missing a great way to promote your business? That's a hook, right? You want to explain the problem. So the problem is that people are struggling with creating video content, and they know that video is trending right now on social media, and people are buying from people who promote using video, but I don't know what to do. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the tools. I don't have the time to create video content. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is I have a step-by-step process to help you create video in less time, with less money and less stress, right? You want to find out more? Now you have your call to action. Contact Maggie at Master It Media. Visit us at www.masteritmedia.com. Whatever it is, like, think about your content and your script. Different videos that I create, I will use different calls to action. So George had mentioned we are the creators of painless posting. So if I'm talking about how to create social media content, my call to action is going to be visit painlessposting.com. So when you lay out your script, you're not just going live. It helps you build that confidence. And, I have a background in theater, and having those lines memorized really does help you with your confidence. And when you don't have it memorized that well, the nervousness comes out, and you want to convey confidence when you're on video. So the next step is it's showtime, right? Now we're going to create that video. Now we're going to sit down. We've got everything laid out, our goals, our purpose, our topics, and our script. And now I've got to block the time to record. Now I will tell you, you can create these videos in a batch. Just do, little tricks like change a shirt. You're wearing a jacket in one, put a scarf on the other one, change your hairstyle, different things to give you a different look. But you'll have everything all set up where you're going to record, whether it's your office or whether it's an outdoor location. Having the stuff that you're in play with and having those batches really do help. Now, if you're more of a person who likes to do off the cuff, especially with like interviews and things like that, you can go live and you can just hit the record button and go. The nice thing that I love about going live is I don't have to edit the video. Editing the video can take 10 times longer. I may be exaggerating. Takes a lot longer to edit a video than it does to record it. So when you're recording a video, I tend to, with my Master at Mondays, I'll record my video as if it were alive. It also gives that kind of fun, interesting, mistakes happen kind of feel to it, right? And then when you record in batches, you can also record batches and post it live using one of the tools I'm going to share in a little bit. You could also, if you don't want to do long form, like I'm talking long form here with my Master at Monday, but the short forms, the things I do on Instagram Reels or the things I post on my Facebook page, it could just be a graphic that I created. There's a tool called Canva, which is amazing. That you can create this graphic and then just animate it. So the photo has movement, the text types in, very fun, very easy. It has the video feel, so it has movement, and it will draw the eye as people are scrolling through their feeds. I do have to tell you, when I do my Master at Mondays, I will take that video, download it, and cut it up. So I'll have a tip. I did one that was really popular on my Reels, and it was about Throwback Thursday, which is a hashtag that people will use. It'll be Throwback Thursday or TBH, hashtag TBH. And you can kind of throw back. It could be a week, it could be a year, it could be 10 years, it could be 30 years, right? You show a picture of maybe your business when you first started, or it's a throwback to a product or a service that you offered. Things like that are great, like chunk them up and put them in. You have your big video, take the long form video, chop it up and use it as a short form video. Now, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tools. And remember, at the end of this, I'm going to be sharing a link where you can sign up to get a booklet that has all the links and everything. So don't go crazy writing it all down. And as George mentioned, you're going to get a copy of the slides as well. So you'll have these. I know we've got some questions coming in, and we'll handle those at the end. But here is a great way for you to learn about some of the tools that I started using and some of the things that I found to be helpful in my business. And I looked at a lot of tools. I've got, as George mentioned, 35 years experience in IT. I've researched a lot of software, and I came up with these that I use myself in my business. And just to let you know, some of these are links that have affiliate links. You pay no additional charge for them. And some of them are actually free, so you don't have to pay anything for. Canva is my favorite. Again, free to use. It's a graphic design tool. It helps you create all of my social media posts. All of my posts from my clients are using Canva. It's easy to use. There's a lot of training that's out there for it. They have training. If you're not the best with computers, don't worry, they'll help you walk through it. They have templates that designers have created. So you're getting for free professionally designed graphics so that all you have to do is change the wording to match your wording, maybe add a picture that's more in tune with your brand, color, things like that. They have tons of stock images and stock video that you can use. You have that animation feature where in a click of a button, in 1 second, literally time it takes you to click a button, you can animate a graphic. The other neat thing that they just added not too long ago was I can be inside Canva and I can record myself. And that way you can go into Canva, set up what it looks like, hit there's an upload button, and under upload, it says record video. It will record right from within the Canva application. You can do this on your phone or on your computer, and it'll put it right into your graphic for you. So cool, so easy to use. So that's Canva. My next favorite one is StreamYard. This is the tool that I mentioned I use when I pre-record, batch record my videos, and then I drop them live. And it connects to various platforms. I use them currently for Facebook. So it'll go on my Facebook business page, it'll go on my YouTube channel, and it will go on my LinkedIn profile. So when I drop a live video, I'm dropping the same video in 3 locations, and there's a free version I can use. You would have their cute little duck logo on it. So, if you don't mind, you can use the free version with that. It's perfect for live streaming. As I mentioned, cast capabilities, and those scheduling of the pre-recorded videos are awesome. You can also use this to just, go live on one platform. The nice thing about it is it gives you the ability to put all these great backgrounds on it, to pop up. You can do share screen like you do in Zoom. So there's a lot of amazing features. When I first started using this tool, I thought I was doing something wrong because it was so easy to use. So again, great tool. So I have a YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel, there's a lot of things that go along with it. And it can be a bit overwhelming when you first get started. And it's still a bit, to be honest, it's still a bit overwhelming for me every once in a while when they add something new and now I've got to learn something new. TubeBuddy is a companion back-end tool to use with YouTube. And it has again, a free version, and there's a paid version that's more features, but you can do keyword searches. So when I do a video, I can put in a topic and it could say 10 tips on how to use video in your social media. And I look at that and I see, is it popular with the regular population? Is it popular with my users? Is it, and then I change the wording a bit and then see, oh, well, this one's more popular, so I'm going to use that. So that keyword search is amazing. They have templates and they give you tips so that you can improve your search results, because YouTube is amazing. It's the second most searched platform. Google is number 1, YouTube is number 2, and both are owned by the same people. So keep that in mind if you're deciding to use YouTube. TubeBuddy is a great tool to use it. Now let's talk about equipment. This was the thing that I got worried about the most, right? I needed all of this stuff. You don't. You could just use your phone. You have a phone, you're done. Okay. Is it going to be the best? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on your phone, depends on your lighting. Use natural lighting in your cell phone and you should be okay. If you got, make sure you clean off the lens so that you don't have any fogginess on your lens of your camera. But if you want to invest in a little bit more, you can get a ring light, you can get headphones or a mic to improve your sound. You can get a camera. Some of them run around $500 that give you a much clearer, more professional look. You getting a tripod or having a nice background behind you is always great. One of the things, like you'll see in this image, that's a ring light that also has a place that you can put your camera on, and it has a tripod. So this one device knocks off a few things off your list. But keep in mind, you don't let perfection stop you from recording, okay? These are just a few tools that you can get. And frankly, if you just have the cell phone, that's all you need to get started. So let's talk a little bit about orientation. I'm talking about the cell phone, right? Or you can see here, there are different orientations, right? When you're using Instagram stories, reels, or TikTok, it's the 9:16, which is a vertical full screen. If you look at the picture on the far left, that's the one with the cell phone up and down. That is what you're going to be using. Now, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and reels, those are using them, as well. When you're doing YouTube, that's the landscaped. LinkedIn kind of likes that landscaped orientation. That's your like traditional, what you're seeing traditional video. And remember, people are watching YouTube on their TVs. So keep that in mind when you record the video. The worst thing that I have seen happen is somebody recorded their video the wrong way. And when they published it sideways. So it came out, they were, you had to look kind of sideways, and it looked terrible. Like, really try to avoid that, that situation. So when you record, make sure you know what tool you're using. Now, I mentioned you could multi-purpose your content. So I record on YouTube. What I do is I take that YouTube video and I put it in, I maybe cut the sides off so that it fits in that 9:16 orientation, or I'll just have the video sit in, and then I put some text on the top and some, text on the bottom, or a nice background, so that the video shows in full, and I have a top and bottom so that I'm matching the orientation of Reels or TikTok. Now, just a few things to keep in mind here. Hold on a sec. When you're looking at your video and recording your video, if you're talking, like, you can take your phone and just grab it and say, somebody just asked me, how do they post on Instagram? Well, here's a tip, and then do the tip. And you're talking to your phone. Keep in mind, if you post that, 85% of short videos are viewed on Facebook without sound. So use a caption, like put captions on the bottom, right? That have it. When you're using Instagram Reels, there's actually a sticker that you can use that automatically transcribes what you're saying and puts the captions in for you. So think about that when you're creating your video. You don't, as I mentioned, it doesn't always have to be you front facing. So remember, you can have text coming in and flying into your videos. Many social media platforms are stating that they are making video first, which means they're promoting video apps. Instagram is definitely doing this. They have said this back in September. And I'm seeing it in the statistics from myself and my clients, where video, our Reels posts especially, are getting more and more exposure by multiples of hundreds. So a regular post may only get 100 views. A Reels would get 3,000. So that's a massive, massive difference. Look at your short form video and know it is growing. And also, your people are going to retain more with video, right? Consumers, like, that's why if you're watching TV and a commercial comes on, it's a video, right? If you just had a slide that came up, it's not as powerful, it's not as impactful. And viewers are retaining 95% more of the message in video form compared to only 10% when they're reading it. I mentioned this little feature that Reels has. Now, when you look at Reels, just to kind of give you a little indication, you can see here on this post I have here, this is my a picture of my Instagram feed, and you'll see here I've got some posts, right? When you're creating a reel, that's this little, it looks like a little clapboard with a play button. Those are reels, right? Now, in a reel, you're going to hit this little plus button. I'm going to have this video play. It gives you a little bit of a background as to how you can add text to a video that automatically it interprets what I'm saying in a video format. So in this, I'm going to click the plus button. I'm going to record a reel. I'm going to select a reel. And then here, I'm going to upload a video that I had. This was a testimonial. That captions button, I know that flipped by really quick, but that captions button is automatically transcribing what I'm saying. And I can tap on it and change it. Maybe I say somebody's name and it misinterprets it. Maybe my New York accent, got a little too strong and it didn't capture the word right. So you can see here, I've saved space in this graphic that I created, and I'm putting the text, it's automatically being created so that if somebody's watching this reel, they're seeing that. Now, if I wanted to, I could add music. Reels has, if you add music to things, it kind of helps your engagement. So I'm going to record, add this music, but I'm going to drop the sound down, that video voice effect sound on the music so that you can still hear me full voice, but you're not going to hear the music as loudly, right? And then I just post it. I can write a caption here. I'm going to center this. Now, remember, this crop a profile image goes to your Instagram feed, and it will share it right on your feed. Now, I know that went really quick. This is just to show you what you can do with a video in less time than it would be to kind of record a video, type in all the text. This has that nice feature that does it for you. And that's a bit about what's happening with videos in social media right now. I know we have some questions, but please take a moment. You can scan this with this QR code with your phone, or go to www.painlessposting.com/video-trends. I'll be sending you, anybody who signs up for that will get a booklet that has all the information with the links and everything else to the tools that I recommend. I recommend them because I use them. If you have another tool that you're using that you find is easy to use, just get on video. I know it's easy for me to say because I have the background in theater. I have no fear of talking in front of an audience. So I know it can be scary. You can use Canva to create a video without your picture, without your voice, without anything, and just create it with text. You search Instagram Reels and they'll come up with a bunch of templates for you to use. You can use stock images and video and make your social media pop, show up above your competition by using videos. So that's our presentation for the day. I'm going to pass it over to George.
Well, terrific, and thank you so much, Maggie. I have to say that of course, I knew all of that stuff that you talked about. And, amazing, and an awful lot to digest. I'm glad we're going to be able to get a copy of the recording of the presentation as well as the slides. We do have a bunch of questions, and let me see if I can get to a couple of them. Let me do one or two that are kind of really quick answers, and then we'll get to a little more involved ones. First one is, can you add background music to Canva?
Yes. Canva has an audio feature. If you don't see it there on the far left-hand side, there'll be a button that says more. When you click on that, it'll show you all the extra options, but you can add audio and you can also clip it. Same with the video.
Okay. Thank you. Another question is, what is it would be a good free video editing software solution for Windows? Everything this person has looked at has many more features than needed, and a big learning curve. So I think
Yeah.
looking for something a little more basic and straightforward and quicker to learn.
Yeah, that's a really good question. You can use Canva to edit video now. Sometimes it's easier for people to use one tool that they use for everything. So you can use that to edit video. There, I have a Mac, so I use iMovie to edit. There are, so unfortunately, I don't know a Windows editor that is cost effective. A lot of them are very expensive. You can find ones that are web-based, but some people like to work on their computer themselves. I use Canva. If that person emails me, I'll do some research, talk to some of my resources and get them a good recommendation for a Windows.
Okay,
So it's
great.
Maggie@masteritmedia.com.
Okay. Another question that came up is, must I, and this is a kind of a condensation of a couple of questions, must I reveal what I look like on video?
No, not at all. You don't have to. I mean, I'm always front facing with my business, right? So I always record my videos. I'm in my socials all the time. You don't have to, I get what, how some people feel, especially introverts and people who want to retain their privacy.
Yeah.
You can create content, you can get the face of your business. Like look at Flo from that, from the insurance agency, right? She's not the owner of the company. She's just the person, right? The spokesperson. So you could do something like that if you want a human being, or what you can do is just use stock images and photos and flying in text using Canva, and you've got it. A little bit more difficult, like with YouTube, to do something like that without having that talking head, but some people do screenshots or do voiceover.
All right, good alternatives. Thank you. In that similar vein, the same gentleman had, or person, I don't know if it's a man or female. What about Pinterest and MySpace in this whole discussion of video?
I'm hard to press to it's MySpace is not something I would, as you're growing your business, work with. It's old, outdated. I don't even use it. I don't even think is it still around? I don't even know, because I'm so at it, like I haven't used it. So it's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Pinterest I use for more of like, I pin my things. I don't use, like even with me in my business, I pin every once in a while. Pinterest is great for those people who, it's a very high skewed female. So, my thing is, if that's where your ideal audience is, then you need to be there. But it's Pinterest is very popular, but I'm seeing the other ones really strong in video.
Okay, good, thank you. B writes, what apps do you suggest for video editing on your phone? I'm interested in video editing as well as creating a video with still photos and music. Great.
So again, I just keep going back to Canva, and I don't mean to be a broken record on this, but Canva has an app, and it's, again, easy to use. The free version has a lot. You can upload your own photos. You can upload your logo. It has music if you want to do that. B, it also depends on, like, I know an iPhone has a lot of different tools to do video editing. But again, I keep going back to Canva because it's killing the competition right now.
Mm-hmm. This is a question I didn't quite understand, and it's not a technical question. Would you repeat the email for the presentation? And I'm not quite sure which email.
Okay, so my email is still up on the screen here, maggie@masteritmedia.com. To get the video trends workbook or handout,
Just
go
come.
to this www.painlessposting.com/video-trends. You can sign up there and you'll automatically be sent the booklet.
And as far as the this presentation itself, the whole webinar, that will be sent to you automatically, as a result of your registering for the course.
From SCORE, yes.
Is the audio feature in Canva free, or is it in the free or paid version, or both?
Repeat that question.
Is the audio feature in Canva
Oh,
in
yes.
the free or paid version?
So great question. So there's a lot of things that Canva offers for free in each section: photo, video, text, color, everything, right? So there's a lot that's free, much more that's paid. So you can get some, but you're going to be limited with the free version. Like anything, they give you a taste of it, but I've had what they call these freemium versions, right? So you get something for free, but more with premium, right?
Yes.
The paid, it's very low cost. There's a free trial, so you can check it out with the link that I gave you. And what I found is it was worth the money to buy the paid version, even if this was before I had started. I've been using Canva for years. So before I even started my business, I was using Canva and for my personal life, and I paid for it. So you can also upload your own video audio. Just be careful. And you know what, this brings another point. If I could just take a side trip here, brings up another point. Be careful when you're using audio that you have the rights to use the audio, or they can pull your video. So when you're using something like Canva and you're paying for it and you post it, you know you're safe. When you upload your own video, you can't just take Lady Gaga's latest hit, add it to your video and post it. You may get dinged for it. When you're using the app like TikTok or Instagram Reels and you're using one of their videos, you're safe as well.
Maggie, we have a couple of questions here from people who are looking for, do you do consultations? Does it come with the program? Do you teach people this and that and the other thing? And rather than get into individual and personal questions on business and consultations and the like, I'll just suggest generically that a quick email to maggie@masteritmedia.com with your question will elicit a conversation or start a conversation, and you can get the answers to those questions, which are fairly personal to your particular requirements, rather than take it up on with 200 people listening or however many are on board. But we do have a question. What would you recommend for whiteboard animation? And does Canva do this as well?
So I'm not sure what they mean by whiteboard animation. Are you meaning like you're presenting and you pull up a whiteboard and write? So if that's the case, when you're using, take StreamYard, for example, StreamYard has a whiteboard. You can pull up a whiteboard and start writing on it. So Canva does have that. I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about here with that. I think that's what they mean. Like if I'm presenting now and I wanted to pull up a whiteboard, I can do that. The other thing is I didn't even mention Zoom. Like you could record a video on Zoom. Like I can't believe I didn't even think of that, right? Like you can record your video on Zoom. You can pull up the whiteboard in Zoom when you share screen, and you can whiteboard that as well. And you can record a Zoom, download it to your computer, and then upload it.
Okay, good. Somebody just made an observation. CapCut is very good to edit on our phone.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Is that Rachel? Thank you, Rachel.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I didn't even. Yes, it is Rachel.
Okay.
Rachel Bowers.
Thank you.
And let's see, what else do we have? Does YouTube demote your videos if you upload vertical oriented vehicles? I've seen a recent uptick in YouTube videos optimized for mobile vertical 9:16 viewing.
So, it's interesting, and interesting using the word demote, right? Like, so the algorithms in any platform, including YouTube, are always a secret. We never know what's happening. They do tell you, like the platform tells you what its preferred orientation is, which YouTube is the landscape, traditional video, right? Now, I haven't seen that. The best suggestion I have for you is play with it and see what happens to your audience, because I could say today, no, a landscape for sure. And then tomorrow they're going to say, oh, as a matter of fact, Instagram, it has been square for ages. And now they're talking about, they want you to go longer now. So you're again, more of a longer, like a TikTok link, TikTok Reels orientation than the square. So we're constantly changing. The thing I say is try it, look at your analytics. If you're seeing that it's changing for you and your followers, because it may depend on your followers as well.
I have a clarification about the whiteboard, and I think you answered it already. Whiteboard characters that are drawn. Remember, you had a question about what is the whiteboard?
There's a tool that was out there. I can't remember the name of it. I've never used it. That whiteboard creates those kind of animations, but no, that's not. Yeah, not okay. Something I have.
Right. How do you prevent posting frequently from becoming spam?
Oh, that's a great question. So you've got to find your audience. Like if you're posting and you're posting consistently, right? Like I know people who post 5 times a day. I know somebody who posts 20 times a day. I know people who post 20 times a month. It depends on your audience, but keep in mind that when you post, that first hour after you post is when you're going to get the most play. And then it kind of, depending on how popular that post is, will depend on how long its life cycle will be. When you're posting, people are following you, people get messages, and again, if we're talking YouTube every day, depends on what you're saying. I hate to say it depends because it's a horrible answer for somebody to hear, but it really does depend on your audience, on which platform you're posting on. Some people post stories multiple times a day. I know there's somebody who posts like 7 times a day on stories, and they come up on the top every day, and I'm ready to unfriend her because I'm just tired of seeing her posts up there all the time. So it's definitely something you should consider. More importantly, over how much to post, think about the quality of what you're sharing. If you're sharing great quality and great tips, people aren't going to care if you're posting 7 times a day.
We have another question, which is interesting. What is the best platform for the very first business video from my company?
What is oh gosh. Okay, so again, long form, short form. Where are your most followers? So say you have a lot of followers on Facebook versus followers on Instagram. I would say go on Facebook, go live. It's easy. You just go into Facebook, you type a couple of words, you hit the live button, and you're done. I hope that answers the question.
We have another one. I've seen a couple of people who always come up at the top of many searches, and I can't figure out how they get to the top, especially if there are performances that are much better with more famous people. And this is referring to specifically a music teacher and a musician that seem to come, 2 different people that seem to come bubbling up to the top, despite what this question thinks is, I was going to say inferior, less excellent quality than some others.
So it has to do with SEO. It has to do with their followers. Like I'm going to assume this is YouTube. Okay, so we'll just put that out. When I mentioned that TubeBuddy, that's the reason I bought TubeBuddy, was because I knew my people were searching master at media and weren't even finding me. So I knew I was doing something wrong in the back end. And that was, I didn't have SEO, I didn't have tags, I didn't have keywords. Something as simple as there's this performer named Cafe Anderson, and he has a music video that's called Mr. Red, White, and Blue. And he changed the name of the YouTube title to Best Patriotic Song, Mr. Red, White, and Blue. And he exploded. Because what are people searching for? They're not searching for Mr. Red, White, and Blue. They're not searching for Master at Media, right? They're searching for Best Patriotic Song, or they're searching for, help with social media captions. That's probably why they're popping up on the searches, because not just the back end with the keywords and the tagging and all of that, but also with their title.
And just while we're talking about that, a commercial, next month's webinar that we're going to be presenting, which will be on August 10th, and there'll be a slide about, there it is right there, on search engine optimization, on SEO. And it's about SEO best practices, and it's going to be August 10th at 1 o'clock. That was just a little commercial, and it just thank you for the lead.
It works right into it.
On that. Rachel Bowers says animated whiteboarding. Fiverr, Fiverr.com is great. Thank you, Rachel. Mary Kay, and I think this has to be our last question, says, how do you get those first 100 followers in order to gain popularity and to be pushed to new followers without spam following people?
Okay. Again, guys, it would have been helpful, and I'm sorry, I should have asked you to put in what platform you're talking about, because each platform is different. With things like YouTube, it's getting people to follow you. It's asking people, it's getting those searches and everything else, and encouraging people in your videos to follow you. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, right? Like those are things you should be saying in your video to get people to do that. If you're talking YouTube, if we're talking Instagram or Facebook, you want to, again, you're always cross promoting yourself. Hey, you're in a networking meeting. Hey, can you follow me on Instagram? Like, hey, guys, while you're here, go to Instagram and go to Master at Media and follow us on Instagram, right? Oh, to promote that organically, it's a way to do it. Your email list, encourage people to follow you, right? That first 100 has got to be your close proximity. Never buy followers. It's always looked upon poorly. And you're never getting the people, you're getting these spammy things, and it throws off the algorithms, and it's not a good thing. When you're looking at who are your ideal audience, go follow them, and hopefully they will follow you back. Follow SCORE, follow your local chamber of commerce, follow, if you're a local business, follow local business owners, follow local news sources, your town, high schools, and all of those things where your people might be, is where if you follow, then people may say, oh, I didn't know about this, and then they follow you. Those are a bunch of ideas on how to get more followers.
Well, Maggie, it's been fantastic. I thank you so much for the presentation, for the Q&A. Everybody listening, I hope you find it totally valuable. I hope to see you in a month at our search engine optimization best practices. Have a wonderful day. And again, thank you very much for joining us. And we want to thank the SBA for their contributions to SCORE as a resource partner. Thank you much. Have a great day. Bye now.